to unveil a healthcare plan anytime soon?
Well, we're looking at different alternatives. I mean, I like my plan the best. Don't give any money to the insurance companies. Give it to the people directly. Let them go out and buy their own health care plan. And we're looking at that, if that can work. We're looking at that. That's sort of taken off. That's what I like. Don't give the money to the insurance companies. They go out and buy their own plan. You give the money to the people. I like it the best.
Are you planning to extend those subsidies?
I'd rather not. Somebody said I want to extend them for 2 years. I don't want to extend them for 2 years. I'd rather not extend them at all.
Will you do it?
It may be some kind of an extension may be necessary to get something else done, because the Unaffordable Care Act has been a disaster. It's a disaster. And I said it was when it first got put in. Unfortunately, we lost a couple of Republican votes, and the Democrats voted for it. It's a Democrat plan. And the premiums are going up, and it's the Democrats' fault. But, you know, they are negotiating with me. It's very interesting. They want to see something happen.
Who are you talking to?
I can't tell you who, but we have a lot of Democrats want this plan to happen. They would love to see the money go to the people, and the people go out and get their own health care. And there would be nothing like it.
Are you planning to replace Kash Patel as
No, he's doing a good job.
This week,
Kash Patel? No, he's doing a great job, I think.
This week we saw those cases against James Comey and Letitia James tossed out. Do you still have faith in Lindsay Halligan?
Oh, she's great. I think she's great. They got out on a technicality, and you'll see what happens from here on. But if you look at the actual charges, I think anybody that looks at it very fairly would say, boy, are they guilty. So let's see what happens over the next week. You know, the court didn't say you couldn't bring the case, re-bring the case, or appeal the case. So they have a lot of options. They're going to call the shot. I'm not calling the shot. But Lindsay's a very talented lawyer, actually.
Mr. President, on Venezuela, sir, are you planning to talk to Nicolas Maduro?
I might talk to him. We'll see. But we're discussing that with the different staffs. We might talk on Venezuela.
Interesting enough, if the U.S. this week did, of course, name him the leader of a foreign terrorist organization. So why do you want to talk to him?
Say it again.
Maduro, the U.S.
Yeah, right.
designated him the leader of this foreign terrorist organization. Why do you want to talk to him if he's the leader?
If we can save lives, if we can do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too.
Mr. President,
What's
do
the
you have any
goal?
reaction?
If you carry
Well, I'm not
out-
going to tell you what the goal is. You should probably know what the goal is, but they've caused a lot of problem, and they've sent millions of people into our country. They were probably the biggest abuser with Tren de Aragua and all the others that they sent in, the drug dealers, the drug lords, the people that they sent in, the jailbirds. They opened their jails and prisons and dumped them into the United States, and we're not happy about it.
Do you have any reaction to Mayor Bowser announcing she's not running for re-election in D.C.?
Well, I got along with her very well. I liked her. We worked together. D.C. is now a safe community. It's a great community. You people know it better than I do because you live there. But D.C. is now safe. The restaurants are booming. The place is booming. We have no crime. And we did that all in a period of 3 or 4 weeks and then made it better and better and better. And now we're setting new records. I mean, literally, it's as safe as there is anywhere in the country now. And if you go back a year, it was a very unsafe place. Before I got here, D.C. was a very unsafe. And it's our capital. We have to make it safe. We're doing really well in Memphis, Tennessee, and we're doing well in other places. The one that is really troubling is what's happening in Chicago. The crime, it's a potentially great city again, but the governor has totally lost control. That's where you had the young lady burned. It's where you had a lot of killings over the last very short period of time, killings. The governor has totally lost control of the state, and the mayor is grossly incompetent.
How was your call with the Japanese Prime Minister?
Great, it was great. I had a great talk. I have a very good relationship with her. I also had a very good talk with President Xi of China, and I think that part of the world is doing fine.
Can you tell us about the content of your talks?
Mostly trade. I spoke to President Xi about a lot of things, but trade and buying our farm products, and he said he agreed with me. I think he's gonna very much surprise you on the upside. I asked him, I'd like you to buy it a little faster. I'd like you to buy more, and he's more or less agreed to do that. I think we will be pleasantly surprised.
Boom, baby. That was
Dynamite.
strong,
That
man.
was strong. That's
Yeah,
a
you hear
Tuesday
that.
night with Tony P. Strong.
Ooh.
It is 9 o'clock on this Tuesday before Thanksgiving. This is the Live Zone Prime Time. That's
Yeah,
Tony P.
baby.
I'm producer Chris. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. If you are watching on Fox Local, welcome. If you are watching on Fox 5 DC's YouTube page, you know we were just watching some tape playback of President Trump on board Air Force One as he starts his holiday weekend, his long holiday weekend. We'll talk about all of that here in just a second. But Tony P, welcome. How's everything going?
I'll tell you, I mean, one more day and thinking I'm flying
I
out
was
to
just
go
gonna
home
say,
to Boston.
yeah.
Just like the president, I'm going on my own little mini vacation for a little bit. Again, I'll be on air tomorrow night, but live from back home from the Boston area, from my mother's
exciting.
office
It's gonna
or
be a
my
lot of fun.
my quasi studio. I am so excited for that.
Yeah, we're going
and
to try
I'll say-
something new tomorrow
We
night.
are. See if
Tony
it
P's
works.
going to take this show on the road. He's going to come to
Ooh,
us live
like that.
via remote, and we're going to have some fun with it.
And we are.
And
You
I
know, who
hope
knows?
you
We
guys
do a
too.
bus tour maybe.
We're also going to have some fun this hour. You see that QR code down there? You guys can scan that. You can weigh in a little later because we are going to talk about this macaroni and cheese debate. Whether it belongs on the Thanksgiving table. Tony P has some harsh opinions about it. We're going to get into
more
it
than harsh.
in the back half of this show, so you don't have to do it right now. You can log in a little later. We're also going to talk about this new variety list of the 100 best comedy movies of all time. That is very specific wording. We're going to go
Right.
through the top 10. I'm also going to talk about some of the other ones on there. I have a lot of strong
I'm excited for
opinions
this, man.
about
I
this
have, like-
list. I
I've
have
been
to
thinking
be
about
honest
this
with you.
all
It
day,
is.
Chris.
I'm slightly outraged by it. In the meantime, though, we are going to get right
I'm not
into
shocked that he is, but like I'm like a tinge outraged. So like not totally.
right into our top story tonight, and that is the holiday getaway. It is Thanksgiving season for almost everyone out there, including the Commander-in-Chief, one of the millions of people getting out of town for the Thanksgiving holiday. Air Force One just touched down at Palm Beach International Airport. I want to say around 8:20, the president got off the plane. Around 8:40, you see him there coming down the stairway with First Lady Melania Trump. Afterwards, there was press on the plane. They did get a chance to talk to the president. We just got to listen to some of that. He talked about everything from the Ukraine peace plan, how that's going so far, his plans for health care, not replacing Kash Patel or Lindsay Halligan. Lindsay Halligan, of course, the attorney who a judge ruled yesterday was improperly, what's the word I'm trying to think of?
Assigned or appointed.
yeah.
Yeah, assigned
Appointed.
or appointed. That's
And
probably know that too.
the case against James Comey and Letitia James tossed as a result.
Right.
The president says he thinks those charges will be refiled and the Justice Department will work it all out. He says he has been hands off on that. He also talked about safety here in the nation's capital, saying his federal surge worked and the city is safer than ever. But like I said, the president not the only one, Tony P, getting out of Dodge.
Definitely
We're taking
not
a
so.
live look at Reagan National Airport right now. AAA says a record-setting 81.8 million people will head out of town this holiday weekend. Tony P
My
is one of
God.
them, as
Yes, sir.
we know.
Not as easy as the president. I mean, you can get your
I
own,
know,
plane
right?
and the sky's clear for you. I don't think he has to go through security or even with the TSA pre-check. He don't think he needs that.
90% of them, however, will be driving, and that's the scary fact for me because I will be hitting the road a little later. 1.6 million of those people driving are coming from the DMV. But amid all the cars and planes, let's not forget about the trains. Amtrak increasing frequency, adding train cars and workers. to deal with the influx that they are expecting. But of course, Tony P, we also have to talk about the weather because that is one of the major things. If you're heading out of town, beware of the weather. Airports like Atlanta, Chicago, Newark, and JFK may see some strong storms. We're talking the potential for ground stops. So
does that mean, though? Does that mean that I get to have
there is
my
only
nerding out
one
session?
person that we need to turn to to handle that part of this conversation, and that is the
You're
one
excited
and
I
only
was.
Mike Thomas.
I did. That was the most touching thing I've ever heard in my life.
I
there,
can see
Tony
you
P.
blushing. I can see you.
I don't think my own mother's as excited when I come home for Thanksgiving as you were to hear that I'm going to be on the show.
I'll be honest with you, that
Maybe I'm
doesn't
inspiring her
shock
right now.
me. Mike Thomas. All right, let's. All right, there he is. There we go. Now Tony and Mike Brofest.
Yes.
It's great to say. Well, wait, I got opinions because I was on the entrance to the show. So number one, Airplane better be on that top 10 list, or I'm gonna have a problem with it for your comedy movie.
I promise you, it is in the top 100. I cannot promise.
It's not in the top.
I cannot promise that it's in the top 10.
It surely isn't.
You'll break
Don't
my
call
heart.
me
You'll
Shirley.
break my heart if it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop calling me Shirley. It's a great movie. Anyway, also, if mac and cheese isn't on your Thanksgiving table, I won't be at your Thanksgiving dinner, which,
Nope.
Tony, well, it sounds like you have a problem with that, but that's all right.
A waste of calories.
For a man who loves pasta, I do not understand
You put
the
the
hatred.
sauce,
We're going to
you
get
put
into it.
tomato
We're going to get
sauce
into
on
it.
there.
We're going to
It's
get
the
into
holy
it.
alliance that you cannot break.
Oh my goodness gracious. Mike Thomas, what can people expect if they're heading out of town? Tonight, tomorrow?
And am I the only one that feels like every single year it's the same talk from AAA? It's just like, we expect the most people ever. It's like every single
really
year.
easy job,
they
huh?
keep saying the same thing.
I think
Throw a number on the board.
that speaks to the fact that people are looking for something to celebrate, Mike Thomas.
I guess, yeah, and no complaints about that. I guess the last time, 2020, there wasn't much of a holiday to celebrate,
Right.
So that was the last time I remember them being
traveling.
like, well, no one's traveling this year. Hey, they turned my maps off.
I
so
was
I
gonna
mean,
ask you.
But I like that you took
Thanksgiving
advantage.
play.
You took advantage
did.
of that beautiful telestrator system that we have. So here's
We do.
Penmanship right there. That is great
we got-
penmanship.
Yeah, and so I've
done.
taken handwriting. I think I peaked in the 4th grade with my handwriting here.
I peaked
All right.
the
Well,
second.
if it helps, Mike, I will give you your maps full, and I will drop that banner in the
Oh
bottom.
no! I tell you, I also got my little iPad here, so
Yeah,
that
we
works
see
out.
it.
Handy dandy iPad.
Listen, this is
The maps-
called solution. This is MacGyvering a situation.
Right? You can't get this on any other station. I promise you that.
That's
But yeah,
for damn
okay.
sure.
So let's talk about what's going on here real quick. You can go ahead and pop the maps full, and you can see that we're finally, after having like an afternoon of rain here in Washington, we're in a little bit of a lull in the action. There could still be some showers overnight, and there's another batch. You can kind of see it down here to the south. That's going to pass down to our south and east during the overnight and very early morning hours tomorrow. The biggest concern locally tomorrow afternoon is that there's a cold front and storms way up here. Front kind of goes this way and then comes down. And along that, as Chris kind of mentioned in the intro, there is a chance that it could pop a few thunderstorms down to the south. I don't think it's going to be crazy disruptive tomorrow. I think the areas you're going to be most concerned about is if you're traveling anywhere in that direction. No, Tony P, I think you'll be okay in Boston. But as this low comes across the lakes, it'll be swirling the winds a little bit, so that could always cause some flight delays. But today, flights have not been doing quite as bad as I almost anticipated they would. Now, if you've been heading towards, say, Minneapolis, where I just wanted to show some snow on the board, right? Yeah, they're getting some nice snows up there just ahead of Turkey Day. The city of Minneapolis about to change over, get a little bit of snowfall, so good for them. And then if you're traveling into the interior Northeast, be warned. You don't see any numbers jumping out on here to you, but I will tell you, some of these bands off Lake Erie and up in upstate New York, off Lake Ontario, there could be 1 to 2 feet of snow off some of those lake effect snow bands that are going to be cooking off the Great Lakes through the Thanksgiving holiday. Around D.C., well, enjoy tomorrow, 70 degrees. That'll feel fantastic. Problem, though, it's a sliding board. Down we go. Thanksgiving Day, 46 degrees. It's going to feel like the 30s. It's going to be blustery here all day Thanksgiving.
God.
Friday and Saturday, too. And if it's this cold here, Tony P, It's not going to feel good in Boston either. I'm sorry to
Of
tell
course
you.
it isn't.
No.
And I'm going to be getting
And
the
it's
70
gonna-
degrees. I'm going to be gone.
Yeah.
That is
You're
perfect timing,
missing the
Mike.
best day of the week, and it couldn't be our last 70 of the year. Yeah, it's got that potential to it too. But as far as travel weather is concerned, tomorrow's not a bad looking travel day. It's just it's going to get cold eventually.
Oh, of course.
So enjoy the 70s while we got it, guys.
Now let me ask you this: so, like, for anybody that might be, heading into some of that snow or some of the inclement weather, if they're driving or flying, what would be your biggest piece of advice to them in terms of preparation, to get there on time, or to at least be there safely?
I mean, obviously, if they're going to shut down some of the highways up in upper Pennsylvania. If you go towards those lake effect snow bands, they're going to shut things down. But that's not really going to happen until Thanksgiving Day. So folks up there should already be at their destinations. Tomorrow, the best advice I can give if you're driving up that way is, extra time. Even if you go to the airport, you're flying to Minneapolis, flying through Chicago. It's a big transfer point. Check your times, because it's not so much what's falling from the sky. It's the fact that winds are going to be shifting.
Okay.
They'll be gusty. Airplanes don't like what they call wind shear, changing winds, low altitude. That's not good on the flight path. So don't be shocked if there's a few ground stoppages because of that. I don't think it's prolonged, but one little hiccup or one little speed bump can have a ripple effect throughout the rest of the day. So just check those flight times.
Gotcha.
All right, Mike, I appreciate it very much. Otherwise, we end up in a planes, trains, and automobile situation if you're flying into
that even
Chicago.
That one better be
Wow.
on the list too.
You end up in
that's
St. Louis
Better
and
be.
all those sorts of things. All right, this is a look at the misery map right now. You can see 480 delays, 6 cancellations. This is courtesy of FlightAware. The majority of them, like Mike and I talked about, Atlanta, Dallas-Fort Worth, Ordway in Chicago. So DCA on that list as well, but
Kinda
not
hiding
too
there.
terrible.
No,
Mike
no.
Thomas, thank you so much for spending
sir.
a little time with us here tonight. Tony, our other big story tonight we have to get into is a political bombshell
Yes.
that broke this afternoon for DC's mayor, Muriel Bowser. I want you to take a listen to what she said to her constituents earlier tonight.
For 10 years, you and I have worked together on an ambitious agenda to restore faith in our government and ensure that every DC resident gets the fair shot they deserve. To keep that promise, we took big swings, keeping DC teams in DC, raising enrollment and graduation rates in our schools, and investing more money in housing than any other city or state, creating 36,000 homes. We delivered on big projects like McMillan and St. Elizabeth's and invested nearly $1 billion in Ward 8, including the brand new full-service Cedar Hill Regional Medical Center. We drove unemployment to its lowest levels, achieved a AAA bond rating and strong reserves, quadrupled CBE spending, and completed the largest infrastructure project in our city's history with the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge. We also brought our city back from the ravages of a global pandemic and summoned our collective strength to stand tall against bullies who threaten our very autonomy while preserving home rule. That is our North Star. Throughout this remarkable journey, I've been honored to serve with countless dedicated city executives and extraordinary frontline workers, the incredible people who keep DC thriving every single day. For their bold vision, big ideas, personal sacrifices, and relentless pursuit of excellence in service to the city, I am deeply grateful. I've also had the immense privilege of working alongside all of you, the residents of DC. Every day I gain strength from witnessing your hard work, your ingenuity, and your pride in this city. You are the heartbeat of this place. Now looking to the future, I know we've laid the groundwork for others to build upon, to reshape and grow DC's economy, establish DC as the 51st state, and protect our investments in affordable housing, transportation, public safety, and public schools, and to build a world-class stadium, housing, recreation, and parks at RFK. It has been the honor of my life to be your mayor. But today, with a grateful heart, I am announcing that I will not seek a fourth term. When you placed your trust in me 10 years ago, you gave me an extraordinary opportunity to have a positive impact on my hometown. Every day since, I've cherished the opportunity and have happily given all my passion and energy to the job that I love. Together, you and I have built a legacy of success of which I'm intensely proud. And for the next 12 months, let's run through the tape and keep winning for DC. Thank you, DC.
So you heard her say, after 10 years, Muriel Bowser says she will not seek a fourth term as mayor. That means she will leave office in January 2027 when her term expires. There have been questions for months about her plans, and the will she or won't she debates have dominated local DC politics. In the video posted on X this afternoon that we just watched, the mayor listed what she sees as her accomplishments, including the Commander Stadium deal, putting the district on solid financial ground, and growing the business sector. Mayor Bowser has been under increasing pressure this year, like we've talked about, from Republicans in Congress who have moved to upend DC laws, President Trump, who declared a crime emergency in August, and residents who have criticized her for not fighting the White House harder, and others who said she should have done more during DC's 2023 crime spike. With the mayor now stepping aside, the 2026 DC mayoral race is wide open. Already, council members reportedly ready to launch their campaigns, including at-large Councilmember Kenya McDuffie, reportedly seriously weighing a bid, along with Ward 4 Councilmember Janice Lewis-George. She's a progressive Democrat and self-described Democratic socialist. Now, no word at this time what the future holds for DC Mayor Muriel Bowser, what she plans to do next. But Tony, one of the first things I thought of was the Eleanor Holmes Norton, because there has been intense pressure for her to step aside. We know that Robert White is currently running for her seat, and another DC council member, I think.
Ward 2 or Ward 1, I think. Yeah.
So
I know you're talking about. We interviewed her actually. I think Jim did.
The mayor could have a real shot at that too if she wants to stay in politics and she wants to stay here in Washington.
I mean, it's very interesting because part of me, we had this debate a while back when the show first started about the efficacy of being in the DC City Council, the mayor's office, versus maybe trying to be a delegate in Congress where you can have maybe a closer ear and eye to the federal government and some of the debates going on about DC funding and home rule, for example. But, I mean, we talk about the mayor's accomplishments in 12 years, has built an incredible city, again, in terms of the financial situation, got the city back on its feet. If you look at what she has done, she has a lot of wins in her cap, and when it comes to the stadium deals, not just with the RFK Stadium, but being able to keep the Washington Capitals and Wizards right here in downtown, and also making the major investments in the arena as well as Chinatown. You'll forget about the Chinatown expansion and business district, as well as the investments from Netflix and OpenAI to bring businesses and offices to downtown DC to try to make it more of an artistic hub. So those are things that may not be as public.
But the sports, no question.
Right, that's a big thing for her.
We have seen the Nationals win a World Series, and we've seen the Caps win.
Right.
We have seen
Spirit.
The Washington Spirit win. I believe the Mystics as well.
Right. So across the board.
Definitely this home of the District of Champions, and obviously next up would be the World Cup. We've got the draw coming up on December 4th.
We shall see. I mean, and part of me thinks overall maybe what has happened in the last year with her dealings with the Trump administration when it comes to the federal surge, and not just having to deal with that and walk a very fine line to make sure that she could keep some type of control of how this all operated, but having to deal with on both flanks, her right and her left, trying to stay in the middle here, and you're coming up on year 11, year 12. I'm thinking, you know what? She'd probably say, hey, I've done a lot here. I have built a legacy. Okay, so I won't be able to see the ribbon cutting, or I won't be the mayor at the time. I think this mayor is more focused on the work that actually got done to get us to here. So, you know what? I think it's, again, for her, it seems like a really good move. It's been a very long year for DC, as well as trying to deal with the effects of COVID, the crime surge, also the issues with workers not coming back to the office for a few years, and then we had the Doge cuts. She has had to basically swat flies for the last 2 years, trying to figure out how to get some peace, I can imagine. And the biggest thing that I think may be weighing on her as she makes this decision and bows out of the race potentially, and actually bows out completely, is her main impetus and goal was to get this city to become the 51st state. And she talked about it throughout this year when it came to the federal surge with the troops, saying, hey, I've been pushing for this for years. I pushed President Biden and the Democrats when they were in power, and they didn't really say much about the 51st state or even get a vote on it. So those are things that I think she might be, I wish I could have got that done or got a little further along. But overall, if I'm this mayor, I'd be very, very happy with my accomplishments overall, just from a logistical perspective and putting points on the board. She absolutely did that. Now the question is going to be, how does the city move forward? How do they build off the wins from this administration? And do we see a New York type situation here in
That's gonna be my next thing.
based off of the win by Zohran Mamdani? And do we see a democratic socialist type candidate that comes out with a populist economic agenda that really gets to the heart of affordability? Is it, repeating that type of line and messaging? Or is it other more DC niche related items that come out in an election? Who knows? But the question, and I think for as the city moves forward, how do you deal with the implementation of the new stadium? How do you make sure that all the teams involved really hold up their end of the bargain when it comes to housing development and jobs and research and all that? That's going to be on on the weight of the next mayor. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see who comes out of this and what Mayor Bowser has done over the last 12, well, it's going to be 12 at the end of the day, 12 years. How does that impact what are the talking points that are out there? What are the holes that these candidates are going to try to address when it comes to affordability? I mean, especially with things like the housing vouchers for unhoused people. How do you deal with that? How does this mayor deal with a one-term president that's going to be leaving in 2029, and then they'll probably still be in office at that time as well? How do you deal with transition again? So this new mayor is going to have a lot of experience, I think, in the managerial part of the role, but also have that vision to really build out the city in their image and tap into the expanding younger population here in DC that is flourishing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been here for 20 years, and she has been mayor for 12 of them. Will have been mayor for
crazy.
12 of them. Out of those 25 I will have been here by the time her tenure ends. I remember the Adrian Fenty days. I remember the Tony William days. I remember the Vincent Gray days, and now Mayor Muriel Bowser. We're going to have much more on this story, including reaction from city residents, coming up on Fox 5 News at 10. Nana Santua Banzu talking to people across the city today, so you can catch that coming up in just about 40 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to go from Washington, D.C. up to New York. We're going to leave you with this gorgeous live picture of that Christmas tree across from Radio City Music Hall near the Fox News headquarters. We're going to take a quick break.
Building.
When we come back, we're going to find out what else Tony has been watching. We'll be right back.
clear.
Boom,
Nice and
I know.
clear.
Thank you very much.
That woke me
It
up a little
is
bit.
Now, almost 9:25 on this Tuesday night. That means you are watching the live Zone Primetime.
Yes,
It
sir.
also means it's time to find out what else Tony P has been watching throughout the day today. Another busy day, another busy rundown for our man.
The final rundown in person of
Yeah,
November
that's right.
2025. Let's rock and roll,
Let's
folks.
do
We
it.
got a lot of stories for you, starting at the White House. President Trump's meeting with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman last week was far tenser behind closed doors than it appeared publicly. Axios reports Trump pushed hard for progress on a Saudi-Israel deal as part of the Abraham Accords, while MBS insisted any agreement still requires a path to Palestinian statehood. Both sides called the meeting productive, but aides described the tone as definitely strained. The president is also escalating pressure on Ukraine tonight. Trump says he'll only meet with President Volodymyr Zelensky and Vladimir Putin of Russia once negotiators are close to finalizing his 19-point peace plan. Axios reports as well that the framework calls for a ceasefire, Russian pullbacks, and no NATO membership for Ukraine in exchange for security guarantees and reconstruction support post-war. Kyiv signaled openness even as Russia launched new strikes on the capital yesterday and today. Politico today says the White House is preparing a new health care plan that would extend enhanced ACA subsidies for for 2 more years and add cost-cutting reforms as well. Officials say the goal is lowering premiums heading into next year, especially with the midterms ahead. NBC News confirms that Louisiana Surgeon General Dr. Ralph Abraham has been tapped as the CDC's principal deputy director. Supporters say he brings credibility with hesitant communities. Critics cite his past resistance to mass vaccination campaigns as a concern. And also in science today, Japanese astrophysicist Tomori Totani says a gamma ray signal near the center of the Milky Way, getting really astronomy here, may be indirect evidence of dark matter. Experts say testing is needed, but it's one of the most promising clues in many years. On the economy front today, Axios reports AI is affecting jobs, but is not the main driver of unemployment right now. 37% of companies use AI tools currently, but few cite job cuts as the primary purpose of AI. Economists say interest rates still matter most as we go forward into Q1 of next year. Retail continues to shift as well. Dick's Sporting Goods is closing some in-store Foot Locker outlets and expanding its larger House of Sport locations. Great concept, by the way. Leaning into climbing walls, turf fields, and training zones to draw in younger shoppers as opposed to an expanded Foot Locker presence. Of course, Dick's Sporting Goods bought Foot Locker earlier this year as part of its portfolio. In the entertainment world, comedian Shane Gillis announced a hometown stadium show at Lincoln Financial Field for next year around July, putting him among the very few stand-up comedians to headline an NFL venue ever. Also, Netflix is reviving Star Search with Anthony Anderson as the new host, adding major new components such as live voting and creator-driven categories to the classic format. Shout out to the influencers getting a spot in linear and streaming TV. On the social media front, speaking of that, YouTube Music launched its AI-powered recap function, offering animated highlight reels, mood charts, and an AI prompt bar that turns users' listening habits into viral-ready summaries. It's already, of course, gaining a lot of traction across TikTok. And finally, a heartwarming story heading into the heartwarming holiday of Thanksgiving. In Regina, a new Trexo exoskeleton walker, that takes that a few times fast, is helping children with severe mobility challenges take their first steps. One young boy, Leo, has begun walking independently, something doctors once said would never be possible. I'll tell you, just from space and exploration to changing people's lives, I'd say the power of science, anybody that knows how to do all that type of stuff and put these type of robotics together, it really makes you think, the power of the human spirit can do so much to just make people's lives a little bit easier, give them some breathing room. That's all people are looking for, and this is a miracle right here.
Yeah, and going back to Star Search, I think a lot of people will be super excited about that. I remember when they officially made that announcement, Anthony Anderson, obviously some local ties, graduated from Howard University. Also, and speaking of things like Star Search, happening right now, which we haven't talked about at all, is Dancing with the Stars. I mean, the finale is tonight. People have been obsessed with this current season. It has captivated audiences.
It has.
Really appointment television, which we really don't see as much these days anymore. So, we'll keep you posted on those results if you're interested.
Oh,
if you're
I'm dying,
watching,
right.
let us know as well. Let
Please
us know who
comment.
you're rooting for as well.
Oh,
You were
there's so
talking
many
about
things.
the power of, good and science and everything like that. Now let's talk about the power of Mother Nature. Take a look at these live pictures from Hawaii right now. Tony, I'm going to embarrass myself if I try to say this mountain's name. Kilauea, is that what it is?
Yeah, no,
erupting
Kilauea, it sounds
in
pretty close.
Hawaii right now. This is a live
my
picture
goodness.
from the United States Geological Survey, I believe. But man, take a look at that.
That is that's nature in motion, and you don't want to be at least 20 miles away in distance of that thing. In the vicinity, you don't want to be there.
I'm pretty sure that Steve Chenevy was in Hawaii when this erupted one time, and there's a restaurant that has a perfect view. And it's too bad it's probably past his bedtime. He's got to be up early in the morning back here, because I would love for him to share that story as we take a live look at these pictures, because this is absolutely incredible.
Look at that.
This,
look at it, it's almost like it's suspended in air and never goes down. It's kind of like it's like a holographic image just standing there in front of us.
Yeah, I'm looking up right now a couple more details about
Kilauea.
this. Yeah, so yesterday, as of yesterday, it had started spewing lava ahead of an eruption. But this is one of those volcanoes that is very active. And we do see it erupt from time to time.
How often does it erupt, do we know?
That's what I'm looking up right now.
I'm trying to think, how do they prepare for that? Is there certain safety precautions
Let's
or
Google
items like that?
How often does Mount Kilauea erupt? Often with multiple eruptions a year, a long history of continuous or near continuous activity. Since the 2018 summit collapse, this is according to the AI overview, so don't necessarily trust this.
Maybe
let's
do a couple
go.
rounds of
Let's go to the USGS
There we
website
go.
instead.
Let's fit this apart.
Intermittently erupting. Yeah, okay, so still, since the 2018 summit collapse, 6 eruptions have occurred since 2020. Let's go to the daily eruption update on the eruption page. All right, well, this is where it's just telling us that its current volcano alert level is at a watch, and its current aviation color code is orange. That doesn't really tell me a ton. Episode 37 of the ongoing eruption began at 2:30 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. So that's what we're looking at right now. Episode 37, sustained lava fountains approximately 400 feet in height, currently erupting from the north vent, fountain heights increasing rapidly. Past episodes have produced incandescent lava fountains over 1,000 feet high that produce eruptive plumes up to 20,000 feet above ground level. According to the National Weather Service, winds are light and blowing from the northeast direction, which suggests that volcanic gas emissions and volcanic material may be distributed towards the southwest, but could spread more widely. So, there you go. Commercial airports in Hawaii not affected by this activity. So, if you are traveling to Hawaii, lucky you for the Thanksgiving holiday, but this should not impact your trip. But man,
it's 4:32 right now in Hawaii. That even was 5 hours. But again, so that happened just a couple hours ago. This thing started to erupt.
Started not too long ago.
It's nature in motion. Again, the island, the islands are just such an interesting, part of the country, and I've always loved how differing the state of Hawaii is compared to the 50 contiguous or the contiguous they call it. Or I think it's 48 contiguous states. Maybe I'm wrong. But again, Alaska and Hawaii have that kind of uniqueness to them. You go to Alaska and it's it's light out until 11 o'clock at night.
I have never been, but I
did a rod race, and you have Hawaii with these wonderful terrain and just the traditions and history.
Yeah.
And then
so I went to Hawaii for my honeymoon.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we did.
Which island?
The most traditional. We did 2. We did.
Okay.
What did we do? We went to Oahu and we went to Waikiki. And we started there. We did Pearl Harbor, and we hiked Diamond Head. Ooh, gorgeous views.
That's a great trip.
Just we did real touristy, old school.
Right.
We went to Duke's, and we got our. We went to the Surf Rider, and we went to the Royal Hawaiian, and we got Mai Tais at every single one that we could try.
Oh my God.
And then then we did a more like relaxed. So we did a week there. Then we did a week in where did we go? Kauai after that.
Wow.
And that was more of a resort. But we did do a boat trip around to like the volcanic cliffs, which were absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And we also went to, and the name is slipping my mind, and if my wife is watching right now, maybe she'll text me and remind me. But
or
we
you put it in
went
the YouTube
to
comments.
the park where they filmed some of Jurassic Park, some of those scenes in the original and in the Jurassic World franchise. So they have like props from the movie still there, and you know, if you've seen the original 1993, the scene where Alan Grant and the two kids are running from like the dinosaurs and hiding, the T-Rex comes out. Yeah, so all of that was filmed on this in this park on the island, and it was hands down the greatest trip I've ever taken.
That is really
cool.
Amazing. Now let me ask you this: have you seen the movie The Descendants with George Clooney?
I haven't.
It's a really great. That's when I started to kind of learn about Hawaii a little bit against a movie. But
Yeah.
I got my first introduction to the islands of Hawaii.
Yeah,
the state of
it's
Hawaii
really
through that
just
movie.
unlike
It's a
anywhere
beautiful part of the world.
I've ever been in my life, and you know, we snorkeled with turtles and things like that. It was.
Turtles bite at all?
I mean, we kept our distance.
Good call.
We kept our
You
distance.
didn't get
I'm
your
not.
You didn't get nose to nose with it?
No, I did not. I'm not a big. I'm not great at swimming, and I'm not great at snorkeling.
All right.
I was one of those people who had like 3 noodles underneath me just to keep me afloat and my face in the water.
That's what I did too when I was in Florida.
It was
Snorkeling's hard.
Unbelievable. It was gorgeous. And Tucker Barnes heads out to Hawaii every so often as well. We also did a real traditional luau, which there were so many couples there on their honeymoon. I could go on and on about this, but you're
music,
taking
the
a live
traditions,
look
it's
at this
beautiful.
eruption. We're going to leave you with this live picture. Tony mentioned The Descendants. We're talking movies after the break. We are talking about Variety's list of the 100 best comedy movies of all time.
Yeah, baby.
And it's going to piss me off.
It's going to grind your gears?
It's going to grind my
I love
gears.
it.
We're going to leave this live picture up. We'll be right back. And just like that, we are back here on the Live Zone Primetime. Tony P,
we
producer
are
Chris.
full of it right now. We're full of some energy. I'll tell you, a little bit of anger, a little bit of wonderment,
Say the least. All right.
Confusion.
So this is the hot topics portion of the evening where we're gonna discuss a couple stories, And
I
you
like
are more
that.
than welcome to weigh in on these. All you got to do is either jump in the YouTube comment section, share your thoughts, or you can scan that QR code at the bottom of the screen. We'll bring you into the conversation. Just keep your camera on, please, so we can see you. All right, first up, we're going back to what we talked about at the top of the show, and that is whether or not macaroni and cheese belongs on the Thanksgiving menu. Tony P., you guys talked about this earlier today on, what was that show that you did? The Take It To. Does mac and cheese
what's
belong
that show?
on the Thanksgiving menu? We have so many shows here at Fox 5.
Listen, we're very creative here. I know.
Also, in the bottom of this shot, we'll keep that lava flow, that eruption going at the bottom corner of the screen so you can see that. And
it's kind of like mac and cheese a little bit. Like it's a little bit like a volcano. It could be a little bit,
Well, it's certainly hot. Okay,
Yeah,
a hot topic.
Yeah,
is what we're talking about here. Tony P doesn't think that mac and cheese belongs on a Thanksgiving menu. We've established already on this show that Tony P has a non-traditional Thanksgiving.
Right.
He also established that he likes pasta, but this doesn't count. Explain to me.
Well, it doesn't because first of all, okay, you have just melted cheese and pasta.
Yeah.
There's no sauce. There's no, a tomato or a gravy or something savory with it. It's just, it's a massive goop on top of pasta, and it's very filling. It kind of feels like, you're kind of having spackle, or like a spackle in your mouth a little bit as you're trying to chew and all that. And for me, it's an overrated waste of carbs on a holiday like this. If you want something that's kind of like more of a a spackle type food or something smoother, go with the stuffing. I mean, stuffing's a great thing, or squash or mashed potatoes. Like, your stomach only has room for a certain amount of things. And I think, for me, mashed potatoes have to go in there, good stuffing, some squash, and basically anything but this. Because overall, it's almost like having, pasta with butter all the time, right? Like you could do that.
So
with
you don't
more
like
thickness.
mac and cheese at all?
No, I
Not
never
just
have.
for Thanksgiving.
It's an overrated dish. It's a waste of calories. I mean, for me, I would go with a vegetable.
Do you not like cheese?
I don't love cheese melted in certain situations.
Okay.
Now,
so you don't like cheese steaks? All my Philly people out there.
Well, I'm willing to try it. Okay.
You've never had a cheese steak?
Never had one.
All right.
But I'm willing, again, for a little bit of
New
melted
mission
cheese.
for the live zone primetime. We're going to get Tony
That isn't
P
just a
good
little bit of melted
cheesesteak.
cheese. That is a volcano, an eruption of melted cheese that I don't
Yeah,
eat.
it's one of two ingredients, as you see in the title. I mean, obviously, there's more than that. You got to start
Right.
with a nice roux. You melt some butter, then you add some flour. You mix it together. Maybe you add a little mustard, ground mustard, to give it, just a little something extra. Then you can add a variety of types of cheeses. The one that I made this weekend, and by me, I mean my wife, had, what did we do? We did a little bit of habanero cheddar. We did cheddar, and then we did some Colby Jack, just, to give it a little color. Also, the
That
habanero to
creativity
give it
I
a little
appreciate.
spice. Some people like Gruyere. Some people use pepper jack.
Right.
All depends on how they melt. I highly recommend you shred it yourself because, the kind that you buy pre-shredded, it
look
doesn't
at that. I
really
mean, like,
melt the
that's
same
like-
way. Yeah, it's tremendous. Out of a box, tremendous.
Tremendous, really.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite foods.
my
It is in my top
God.
5 favorite foods of all
Not
time.
even in the top 100. I'd rather eat Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I like Brussels sprouts
At least it
too,
gets
but
some
I would rather
crunch out
have
of it.
macaroni and cheese every single time, no
it's a
question
waste,
at
a
all.
total
All right, let's
waste.
see. Robert says, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Yeah, I do watch that every year. That is
I do
not
too.
on our network. However, we will have a live shot from it here on YouTube coming up on Thursday. What I love about the Macy's
beautiful.
Thanksgiving Day Parade, besides all the floats and besides all the Broadway performances, is when Santa arrives and it ushers in the
does.
Christmas season. And, we've talked about when you're supposed to put your tree up and all that kind of crap. For me, traditionally, it was always after Thanksgiving, but it was that Thanksgiving Day that really ushered in, when Santa arrived at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, that was when it gave me permission to really lean into. And then I went 24/7 Christmas music after that. I never even listened to another single radio station or song. It was
Really?
just always Christmas music. West Virginia Ben, what's wrong with Mac? I put ranch on mine. Okay, interesting. My lunch today
That
was
makes
a
it
Philly
even worse.
cheesesteak with Chipotle from Subway. Okay, yeah, I'm not.
At Subway,
I'm-
I appreciate
okay,
that.
To each their own. To each their own. We're not here to judge. Besides Tony P. But
am not-
ranch
I'm
on
not
macaroni and
anybody.
cheese. I like hot sauce on mine. I mean, hot sauce on everything.
I mean, so we have
As
ranch
Frank says, I put that on everything. Yeah.
Ranch, I mean, like, it doesn't belong on pizza. Does not belong on even mac and cheese. I don't think it belongs on there.
I don't mind a buffalo ranch. I don't mind a buffalo ranch.
This is the problem.
No, it's not a problem, Tony P. You're the problem. You
You
are the outlier here. I think if we took a poll, if we took a survey, I think most people would like macaroni and cheese. I think it's one of the most popular
I love being in the
Thanksgiving
opposition.
sides.
I enjoy that because it means that I'm right. It means that I have the long-term vision.
Let's move on to this other story that is guaranteed to fire us up. And again, you can weigh in the YouTube comment section. You can weigh in by scanning that QR code at the bottom of the screen. We are talking about the 100 best comedy movies of all time. Variety put this list out recently, and I believe their wording was very specific because the 100 best comedy movies does not mean the funniest movies of all time. So keep that in mind. We're going to start with the top 10, and then I'm going to share some other movies and where they fall on this list. And like I said, Mike Thomas, I apologize because Airplane is not where you think it would be.
Sad.
Number 10, Groundhog Day. Bill Murray, 1993. A classic for TV news. We love it because we love our movies about TV news. There were several movies involving TV news on this list. I'll let you guess what some of the other ones might be.
Broadcast news.
Broadcast news was on
Yeah,
there.
baby.
Number 9, Young Frankenstein, 1974. Gene Wilder, Mel Brooks, Peter Boyle gave us one of the most timeless renditions of Puttin' on the Ritz you have ever heard. An absolute classic. Mel Brooks, a legend.
Oh, Spaceballs. I mean,
Spaceballs.
Can you get a better movie than that?
Well, apparently you can because Spaceballs is not in the top 10. Number 8, Fargo, 1996. Francis McDormand, a Coen Brothers classic, no question. But do you consider it one of the 100 best comedy movies of all time?
Listen, it is about a murder. It is about a crime spree, basically. I mean, have you seen the Steve Buscemi scenes? I'm not going to give it away because it's too graphic.
It involves a wood chipper.
Right. I mean, that's comedy? So
Comedy.
I'm supposed to laugh at that?
Number 7, Duck Soup, 1933, The Marx Brothers. Now, I'm fine with this one.
They're comedy legends.
They are absolutely comedy legends, and they hold up. Admittedly, they do hold up. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, number 6, 1975.
I mean, that's just, classic across the board.
It's a classic. It's quotable. The Nights Who Say Nee.
Comedy, like
Just the Flesh Wounds.
Right. A lot of, I think with comedies, you can tie it to societal references. So
for
like
sure.
Groundhog Day, for example, like that's become a thing. Oh, it's like Groundhog Day every day, right?
Every single year on Groundhog Day, I play the clip of Bill Murray waking up to "Put Your Little Hand." What is the song? I Got You, Babe.
Right.
Sonny and Cher. He throws the alarm across the room.
Now, they were comedic, the two of them.
Well, that's for sure. Number 5, Waiting for Guffman, 1996. Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, Catherine O'Hara, and that whole group of people.
I mean, I didn't see it, so
he's never seen it. Have you ever seen any of those movies? They're the same guys who did Spinal Tap. They're the same guys who did
love Spinal Tap, yes.
A Mighty Wind was their spoof on the folk scene.
Right.
So Waiting for Guffman, they gave the top 10, but I think most people like Best in Show.
Right. And
which is the dog show movie.
Oh, God. Now, was Waiting for Guffman a take-on of Waiting for Godot?
I believe that it is.
Okay, got it.
Corky St. Clair. I mean, this is all of Christopher Guest's movies. If you've seen them, you know what you're getting.
Love Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap.
I watched it in high school.
Honestly, I thought Spinal Tap would be maybe higher than
I thought it was a real thing.
Maybe instead of Scuffman. The Great Dictator, 1940, Charlie Chaplin, one of the first movies that he spoke in. I mean, I've never seen that one either. Number 3, Annie Hall, 1977, Woody Allen and Diane Keaton. Is it
a romantic comedy?
Is it the number 3 comedy movie of all time?
I mean, the thing is, I think as you get to the top 5, top 3, you're supposed to be laughing out loud at this point, or have scenes that make you laugh out loud.
And this is where
That's comedy.
This is where I get into
Where's the definition of comedy?
Number 2, Some Like It Hot, 1959, Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, and Marilyn Monroe. I think that's probably, I've never seen this one either, but I think it's one of those those classics that of the genre and ahead of its time, probably.
Right. I mean, well, here's the definition of comedy, just generally, okay?
Lay it on me, Tony P.
It's professional entertainment consisting of jokes, satirical sketches intended to make an audience laugh.
Okay.
So a lot of comedies are dramas. So am I supposed to be laughing in Fargo?
Number one.
I keep going back to that.
And now here's where it gets very confusing. Number one on the list, The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad, 1988.
Yes, okay, that's where my
Leslie
smile comes
Nielsen. But if you are listing that as the number one best comedy movie of all time, that to me means that that is what you're going for, that level of comedy. And as a result, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 6, you know, some of the
It's
number
mismatched.
8, it's a real hodgepodge of a list variety.
Well, what was the
I have to
criteria?
admit.
Was it
That's
consistent?
an excellent question, but you can check out the full list on Variety's website, and I highly recommend that you do. Let's go through some other ones, because there were some critiques, Tony P, that if you look at that top 10, not a lot of performers of color, not a lot of melanin in that list. Okay, so let's go through some of the other ones. 96, I'm gonna get you, sucker. That's the Waynes.
Great. Oh
yeah,
my God.
absolute
The Wayans
classic.
brothers from In Living Color.
A spoof of blaxploitation. It was absolutely hilarious. Also, if you've ever seen Don't Be a Menace to South
That's
Central
a
while
great-
drinking your
that's a
juice in the hood.
great
Another
movie.
great one. But these are spoofs, and The Naked Gun is a spoof.
It's
100%.
slapstick.
I understand why it makes the list. 92, The Jerk with Steve Martin. This was a real career-defining role for him. Number 88, I mentioned some TV news movies making this list. Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy with Will Ferrell.
That was a goodie.
Well, I mean, I'm going to just call them by their names. Champ Kind, Brick Tamlin, and what was his name? Brian Fantana.
Loud noises.
That movie came, it's been 20 years, I want to say,
21?
since that movie came, 21 years since that movie came out. And, you know, I remember seeing it in the theater and not laughing, and then finding myself quoting it, watching it again, and it has just over time become the defining movie, I think, for anyone who works in TV news at this point, because there are so many relatable things.
Well, like that cologne, 60% of the time, it works every time. That doesn't make sense.
Devil Wears Prada, number 81.
I mean,
Where's my booba?
That's comedic. I mean,
number 77, Blazing Saddles. Yeah,
that's a very
Mel
controversial
Brooks,
movie.
Gene Wilder, Cleveland Little. It's a fantastic movie.
It is, but there's a lot of.
You know, listen.
It's a little edgy.
Well, yes, but you know, that's putting 2025 standards on a
True,
movie.
and it's Mel Brooks.
Yeah, and it's Mel Brooks.
He did that for a long, long time. And Gene Wilder.
Wilder.
It's a great movie. Again,
anything with Gene Wilder belongs on this list.
Right.
Napoleon Dynamite, number 73. Yeah, I love that movie.
That's a good
that is a
position for that
very
movie. That's
of its
smart.
time and of its place movie.
Right.
And I know that Steve and Tucker are big fans of that one as well. The Big Lebowski, number 72.
How is that not
This
higher?
is my problem. Yes, it should be in the top 10. You
Yeah,
know what?
that's
You can
quoted
kick
so
Fargo
often.
off that list for the.
How could it
You know,
be
the
there?
Coen brothers are excellent, but The Big Lebowski is one of the funniest and best movies, and best comedies, and best noirs ever made. Written, acted, directed. It's the total package.
And it has infused itself through social media culture, media as well, into the bloodstream of our culture. We quote it, we act it. I mean, Beavis and Butt, not Beavis and Butt, Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey.
Jeff Daniels and
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
How about wait? Where's Office Space?
Office Space did not make the top
Are
100.
you kidding me?
Dumb and Dumber, I did not see on the top 100.
Office Space is an incredible comedy.
Legally Blonde, higher than The Big Lebowski. You know what was on it? Idiocracy, but I think it was in the high 90s. 69, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective with Jim Carrey. 66, Eddie Murphy, Raw. That's the only stand-up. No, there's another one. I think Richard Pryor has a stand-up act on the list as well.
That better be high.
But again, that's totally different than I mean, it's a comedy movie in the sense that it's a stand-up routine.
Right.
I don't know.
Sometimes
Seems a little weird.
In some of them, there's like some narrative behind it or some
Yeah,
acting.
for sure.
So that's how they call it. Like the tour is like a movie. There's some things behind the scenes.
Number 62, Airplane. Mike wanted it to
That
be in
is
the top 10.
embarrassing.
62, Airplane. Airplane is what gave us Leslie Nielsen.
And what
that
gave
led
us-
to The Police Squad, which led
Yep.
to The Naked Gun. So don't know how I feel about that one either. 61, The Birdcage, which is phenomenal.
Yes.
Robin Williams, Nathan Lane,
Hank
Gene
Azaria.
Hackman, Hank Azaria, Diane Wiest. Elf, number 54,
All right,
which,
that's-
you know, it's a
that's-
great holiday comedy
be the
for
70s
sure.
though.
The Waterboy, number 50, with Adam
Wow.
Sandler. I mean, of the Adam Sandler movies, I think Billy Madison
And Happy
I think
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore are funnier and should have been.
They're not on the list.
They're not on the list
That's
at all.
crazy.
The Waterboy,
Anger
the only
management.
one. Coming to America, number 46. That could have been in the top 20
That
easily.
is a crime.
Mrs. Doubtfire, number 44.
Also a crime.
This one shocked me. Team America, World Police, number 43.
What?
I haven't watched that again since
Oh
it
my
came out.
God.
Zoolander, number 40. The Princess Bride, number 37. That is a perfect movie. That should have been in the top 10.
That should be top 5.
Top 5. I agree with Tony
you
P. I was
kidding
just
me?
being generous. It
Who
would
is
be number
making these
1
references?
on my list. School of Rock, number 35. Another perfect movie in my
yeah.
opinion. Jack Black, absolute tour de force, deserved an Oscar nomination.
Right
You know what
here.
else deserved an Oscar nomination? Sherman Klump. The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy. The Nutty Professor with Jerry Lewis was on this list. The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy was not.
should have been on that list.
Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, number 30. That fits the trope of the spoof movie. It
does.
was revolutionary when it came out. I absolutely loved it. Borat, number 26, with Sacha Baron Cohen.
That's ahead of Coming to America.
Uh-huh.
Like, Coming to America, where the real royal wedding, in my opinion, was Prince Akeem. That was the real royal wedding. Okay?
No question.
I don't care about anything else in England. I care about Prince Akeem. So that's like,
West
to me,
Virginia Ben says Office Space is awesome. Bridesmaids, number 24. Bridesmaids, I think, is probably one of the highest grossing. I mean, that was an
That was a great
absolute
movie.
box office
That was good.
blockbuster.
That was really good.
Caddyshack, number 22.
All right, that makes sense.
Superbad, number 20. And Tootsie, number 12.
Now, where is Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield?
Didn't see it on the
Are
list
you
at all.
kidding? Oh my-
The scene where he jumps
Easy
from one
Money.
diving board to the next, and it's clearly just like a different actor,
Oh, you can
is
totally-
one of
You could totally
one
tell.
of the
Well,
best
it's the 80s.
things
It's, you know, it was,
in
not
the
everything was
world.
perfect
Oh
back
my
then,
God.
you know?
Rodney
Oh, that is-
Dangerfield gets no respect, and
never does.
Variety proves it once again by leaving him off the list. Tony P,
That's
this
embarrassing.
was the story that I wanted to talk about more than anything in the world tonight, because this list, absolutely, you know, I feel like,
There's
you know,
no
we talk about
continuity.
Rolling Stone doing, you know, and I get that comedy is subjective and funny is subjective, and these are all great movies, but I don't know if they count as the best comedy movies
No,
of
because
all
there's
time.
there's no through line.
Yeah.
That you don't look at any of like the tranches and go, oh, there's a good theme there, or there's a logic. It's all spread out. You have spoofs, you have drama comedies, you have rom-coms, and again,
not
like you
some of
said,
the rom-coms that I would have expected.
right? And again, a lot of movies that don't have, again, like not a lot of diversity at all, and and actors of color and comedians of color, who, to be totally upfront, I mean, like there is, the through line and the foundation of American comedy is from, comics of color. Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, like all these,
How
Richard
do you
Pryor.
not have the Nutty Professor
Like, it's
on there?
ridiculous.
Dave Chappelle
Dave
classic
Chappelle.
as well.
Like, this is ridiculous. And
Reggie.
right,
My
and think
goodness.
about Ace Ventura. Where did that really come from? That came from In Living
It
Color.
came from In Living Color.
Okay,
exactly.
so I mean, and again, it's
And honestly, like
disrespectful.
when it comes to some of the spoofs and things like that, Scary Movie. How is that not on there?
Right.
That was another one of the. I mean, there have been like 5 or 6 of them,
Oh,
and they've
animated
all been
ones.
successful.
no animated ones. I mean, come
know.
on, this is
Yeah, honestly, there are some. The Lego Movie
Right.
was hilarious. Lego Batman was hilarious. Those were great
This is
comedy.
awful. Yeah.
This is
This is how I
arbitrary
felt-
list, Tony P.
I'll tell you,
Very
this is how I feel
arbitrary
about Rolling
list.
Stone and Neil Diamond.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. Rolling Stone is the king of rage bait lists.
Oh, and they
I
hated
feel
Neil
like
Diamond.
Variety just took a page from their playbook.
Yep.
So
I'll
that's
never
what-
forgive Rolling Stone
that's-
for never giving Neil Diamond his props.
Well, we
for good
talked
artists
about
that he
whether
is.
tomorrow night we're going to have a little Neil Diamond conversation. We're
Maybe
going to
we
list some of our favorite Neil Diamond songs that are not Sweet Caroline. So that is the base level
Yes.
that we have set. Our favorite Neil Diamond songs.
Love it.
That are not Sweet Caroline.
Like mac and cheese, Sweet Caroline is overused and overrated.
Man, oh man.
Simply,
this guy,
it is.
It just, it's poking the bear. He's poking the bear. You
No,
know what,
it's
you know what I'm
true.
going to do?
I
when
have the right to say, I am an expert
I am going to
in
text
this
Tony
arena.
P a picture the second I get home, and it's going to be of the mac and cheese that I am going to eat. I'm going to house tonight.
Great.
Tony P is hitting the road tomorrow, but he's still going to join us live if all of
Yes.
our technology goes to plan.
Right.
Just a reminder, we will be back here tomorrow night. We are off Thursday and Friday, and then we're gonna have some fun. So thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. Final 30 seconds. Coming up on the Fox 5 News at 10, we are talking about reaction to the mayor announcing that she is not running for re-election. Shamari Stone joining us live as well. Have a great night. We'll be back. We're going to leave you with this live picture from Hawaii. Drop this banner. Put up this one. Have a great night.